Mercedes-Benz 200 Sonnenschein Limousine, W21, 1933-36. The Mercedes-Benz W21 was a six-cylinder passenger car launched in 1933 using the name Mercedes-Benz Type 200. It was one of several Mercedes-Benz models known, in its own time, as the Mercedes-Benz 200, or sometimes, in this case, as the Mercedes-Benz Type E200, and is therefore in retrospect more commonly referred to using its Mercedes-Benz works number, W21. The car was a development of market from the manufacturer's W15, itself introduced 2 years earlier. The W21 replaced the Mercedes-Benz W02, in its own day known as the Mercedes-Benz Type E200 Stuttgart, which the company had been manufacturing since 1928. The car was available as a 2- or 4-door torpedo-bodied touring wagon, a 4- and, from 1935, 2-door limousine, sedan/saloon, a 3- or 4-seater cabriolet or as a sporting 2-seater. In 1934 a lengthened version of the car was introduced, its wheelbase increased by 350 mm, 14 in, to 3050 mm, 120 in. Models offered on the longer wheelbase included a 6-seater Pullman limousine, a Pullman Landaulet, a longer torpedo-bodied touring wagon, a more streamlined 4-door limousine, sedan/saloon, and 3 different longer wheelbase cabriolets listed respectively as the Cabriolet A, the Cabriolet B and the Cabriolet D. The side-valve 6-cylinder engine had a capacity of 1,961 cc which produced a claimed maximum output of 40 PS, 29 kilowatts, 39 horsepower, at 3,200 revolutions per minute. The engine shared its 85 mm, 3.3 in, piston stroke length with the smaller 6-cylinder unit fitted in the manufacturer's W15 model. But for the W21 the bore was increased by 5 mm, 0.20 in, to 70 mm, 2.8 in. The stated top speed was 98 km per hour, 61 miles per hour, for the standard length and 95 km per hour, 59 miles per hour, for the long-bodied cars. Power passed to the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual transmission in which the top gear was effectively an overdrive ratio. The top 2 ratios featured synchromesh. The brakes operated on all 4 wheels via hydraulic linkage. During the model's final year, Mercedes-Benz announced, in June 1936, the option of a more powerful 2,229 cc 55 PS, 40 kilowatts, 54 horsepower, engine, which was seen as a necessary response to criticism of the car's leisurely performance in long-bodied form. In terms of features and performance the W21 represented considerable progress when compared to its predecessor, and was priced at the same level although it was equipped a little more simply and in standard wheelbase form was a little smaller. The appearance of a long wheelbase version a year after the introduction of the standard bodied car was in part intended to address comments that the W21 as originally launched was a little small to be considered a full-size taxi. Nevertheless, the standard wheelbase model achieved output of 9,281 cars during a production run of slightly more than 3 years, while the long wheelbase model achieved 6,341 cars during a shorter production run of slightly above 2 years. A notable success was the popularity of the longer-bodied 6-seater Pullman limousine-bodied version for use as a Kraftwerk taxi. It was presumably simple flattery when, in August 1934, Opel announced a long-wheelbase Pullman-bodied version of their Opel 6. The cars were conceptually similar and even shared an identical 3,050 mm, 120 in, wheelbase, although the Opel was lighter, a little less powerful and in terms of performance claims slightly faster. The biggest difference for the buyer was probably the one that surfaced when paying for the car. Even the least expensive of the longer wheelbase Mercedes-Benz 200s, the non-Pullman bodied 4-door limousine was listed in 1934 at 5,700 marks while the Pullman limousine bodied version started at 6,550 marks. The Pullman Landaulet, with a cabriolet-style folding hood over just the rear row of seats, or a cabriolet limousine, Opel, or touring wagon, Mercedes-Benz, but at every level the prices quoted indicate that Mercedes-Benz were commanding a large price premium with the taxi operators.